Welcome back for today's NBA pick video play for November 19, 2018. For Monday's action, talking about this Eastern Conference matchup between the Boston Celtics and the Charlotte Hornets. Going to give our lean on where we see the better value against the spread. The road team Boston coming in as slight favorites, giving a 1.5. Expect this to be a competitive matchup. Both of these teams probably not where they'd want to be at this point in the year. The Celtics only 2 games above 500 at 9-7, and Charlotte has now fallen below 500 at 7-8 overall. Boston in their last outing, a disappointing loss at home to the Utah Jazz, but prior to that, the Celtics picked up one of their best wins of the year, taking down the Toronto Raptors by a final of 123-116. And if we look back to last season, Boston, they were one of the most consistent performing road teams in the NBA, and that was a big catalyst as to why the Celtics were able to finish last regular season atop the Eastern Conference standings, getting that 1 seed going into the playoffs. Now, this is a slightly different Boston team coming into the 2018-19 campaign, and figuring everything out is the main goal here in the first couple months of action before they really kick things into gear throughout the rest of the season. When you bring in a guy like Gordon Hayward, who was out pretty much all of last year, and now trying to fit him in and also get everyone else their minutes and shots, it's a situation where you almost have too many guys that have talent and you want to put out there and work everything together in the right manner. So that's what Boston is figuring out right now. We'll see how long it takes them to completely find out what they want to do with their rotation and how they can maximize their performance. In terms of their numbers this year, again, a defensive-oriented group. They're third in the NBA in points allowed compared to 24th in scoring average. And this is pretty much what we saw from the Celtics all last year, where they didn't blow you away with their offensive numbers, but they were one of the strongest consistent defensive groups, which allowed them to be very successful away from home. Defense has a way of traveling a bit better than offense for a lot of squads. So the home team here today, the Charlotte Hornets, disappointing stretch over the past week of action. They've lost 3 out of their last 4 games, including an inexcusable 24-point loss on the road against the Cleveland Cavaliers, who are looking like one of the worst teams in the NBA. In their last outing, which came at home, the Hornets coming up just short, losing to the Philadelphia 76ers by a final of 119-122. And the Hornets, their numbers are actually pretty good, and when you take a look at them, you'd think that this would be a team that's above 500, but that just isn't the case. The Hornets, 7th in the NBA in scoring, 14th in total team defense. They have a positive plus-minus of about positive 4 points, but part of this is just the number of blowout victories that the Hornets have had against a number of the easier teams that they've played this year, while when they go against tough competition, they generally tend to be much closer contests, and the Hornets coming up just short in a lot of these competitive games like we saw from them in their last outing against the 76ers with that 3-point home defeat. So we like Boston to come in here and try to bounce back after that disappointing loss they took in their last outing to the Jazz. Also, the Hornets obviously going to be trying to bounce back, losing 3 out of their last 4 games, including their last outing at home. But given this Celtics team, the coaching that they have in terms of having success in these road environments, we like them to come through in a competitive matchup as they go on to win and cover this 1.5-point spread. If you agree, give the video a thumbs up. Disagree, give it a thumbs down. You can check out all of our picks for today over at stumpthespread.com. Link down in the video description. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, and we hope to see you guys back here for future videos.